Hey y'all, welcome back to Math Rescue. I'm Andre, a certified math coach. In this video, we're going to talk about dividing polynomials. I'll start by showing you how to divide using the area model, so you can visualize how each term fits together, and then we'll move on to synthetic division, the faster, way more compact method. Once you see how both connect, dividing polynomials should start to feel way simpler. Let's talk about it. So first we're going to divide here on the left. We have 2x to the third plus 5x squared minus 4x minus 10. That's our dividend. The dividend is the thing being divided, and we have our divisor x plus 2. So I'm going to set up an area model for this. I definitely just kind of want enough space to fill in some boxes here. So at least 4 columns, at least. And I know at least 4 because I have 4 terms here. We are going to put our dividend here on the bottom. The dividend is what we're trying to get to. You'll see what I mean by get to in a second. And I'm going to put my divisor here on the side. Alright, I know this very first box on the top left has to be 2x to the third. And so what I'm doing is I'm asking myself, x times what is going to give me 2x to the third? Well, that box there, that has to be 2x squared. So I've officially made a decision. I'm going to go ahead and decide that that's going to be 2x squared. So then I want to multiply down the entire column for that. So this next box gives me 4x squared. And then I want to decide what goes in here. Now, when I do that, I'm looking at the x squared term. I need the coefficient on x squared to be at least 5x squared, and right now it's 4x squared. So that means I need at least one more x squared. And now that I have that, I can officially make a decision about what goes on top here. I just want this to be x because I know that x times x is going to make x squared. Because I've decided that it's x, the next box down has to be 2x. And so I'm starting to build this out. In order for 2x to combine with something else and make a negative 4x, I need this to be negative 6x. And so that means I'm deciding to multiply here by negative 6. I multiply all the way down. I get negative 12. And I need these to be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 here. So that means I end up with a remainder of 2. Since I'm all done creating the dividend, anything that's left over is considered our remainder. So my quotient is 2x squared plus x minus 6. My remainder is 2. And if we wanted to write this out kind of like as a single expression, we would say 2x squared plus x minus 6 plus, and then our remainder is still being divided by that x plus 2. Alright, let's look at synthetic division. So for synthetic division, there's also a bit of a setup here. We like to make this kind of long L shape. Our divisor is x minus 2. We're going to grab a representative from that. If it looks like x minus 2, the representative ends up being positive 2. And then I want to grab all the coefficients from the dividend. If there's any coefficients that are missing or you can't see them, they're probably 0. So you would record a 0. If you don't put that 0 in as a placeholder, it's going to mess up. So we have 1x to the third, negative 6x squared, 11x, and negative 6 as our constant. I like to put a plus sign down here because we're going to add to get the values in this row. And I like to put a multiplication sign here because we're going to multiply to get the values in this row. The very, very first step is just a copy and paste. So we just copy and paste that first value. Then I start multiplying. So 2 times 1, that's going to give me 2. Then I add negative 6 plus 2. That's going to give me negative 4. Then I multiply. 2 times negative 4. That's going to give me negative 8. And then I add 11 plus negative 8. That's going to give me 3. And then 2 times 3, that's going to give me positive 6. I like to do a little box here because this last value will always be your remainder. And in this case, our remainder is 0. So we actually don't have a remainder. Now, you might be saying, I started off with a polynomial, but 1 minus 4 plus 3 doesn't look like a polynomial. But what's happening is that we haven't added in the variables back in yet. This is just kind of like our scratch work here. The variables are going to be 1 degree less than our dividend. So if we started off with a cubic, or in other words, x to the third, we're now going to have squared. So 1x squared minus 4x plus 3. I don't have to show the 1. I can make the 1 invisible. Let me move that up so you can actually see it. Hopefully, one of these methods resonates with you. Synthetic division is kind of like what we prefer to use because it's a lot quicker. But the area model is also really nice and really intuitive. I'm Andre with Math Rescue. See you in the next one.